Uh, Good evening again. Once again, everybody here. RJL 518 presents Payoff Pitch Baseball 1985. Today's date is May 4th, 85. We are here at Wrigley Field for a game between the San Diego Padres and the Chicago Cubs. This is our first look at the Cubs in this season. The Padres come into this game with a record of 11 wins and 10 losses in quick results and, of course, gameplay. The Cubs are 10-10. They are exactly at 500. So this is a pretty interesting matchup between the two. The Padres trying to stay strong in the National League West, as well as the Cubs trying to stay strong in the National League East. Still very early in the season. We're only now beginning the second month of the replay. It will be Mark Thurmond going up against Scott Sanderson in this matchup. So should be a hopefully a fun game to play. For those of you who absolutely liked some of my games today, I would recommend a very good inside pitch game that was played earlier today between the California Angels and the Pittsburgh Pirates of 1977 in my 77 one and gone. Should check that game out. That game was very interesting. Starting pitcher for the Cubs will be Scott Sanderson. He was 5-6 with a 3.12 ERA, and he will be the starting pitcher for these Cubbies at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. And as you can tell by the card, Wrigley Field is a definite hitter's park. 1-91 left-handed batter, 1-80 right-handed batter. That is a wheelhouse combination of 171. That's what I call a hitter's park, no doubt about that. Let's get this game rolling. Let's play a little baseball here. Top of the first inning, leading off for the San Diego Padres will be Tim Flannery. He is at second base for this game. Sanderson is a right-hander. Flannery batted .294 with a home run against rights. Good game here at the friendly confines. Let's see what happens in this ball game. Sanderson's pitch is a tough 62, and that's a ground ball to short. Easily picked up by Sean Dunston, who throws him out, one down. Here is the right fielder, Tony Gwynn. And you want to talk about hitters, that's Mr. Padre right there. Tony Gwynn batted .331, 4 homers against rights. Gwynn, one of the best hitters in the 80s and the early 90s, if not maybe a top 10 hitter in baseball history. Say what you want. Gwynn was an absolute beast at the plate. Sanderson's pitch is a tough 89. That's going to be a ground out to second base. That'll get picked up by Ryne Sandberg, and they'll throw to first for out number 2. Next up is the first baseman, Steve Garvey. He batted .274 with 8 homers against rights. Sanderson's pitch, that is a tough 06, and that is a steer right out. And Sanderson goes 1-2-3 with the Padres here in the top of the first. The Cubs originally won this game 12-8, so there was a lot of runs scored. So we'll see what happens. Let's see what Payoff Pitch has to say about that. Starting pitcher for the Padres will be Mark Thurmond. He was 7-11, 3.97 ERA in 85. He is a lefty. Bottom of the first, leading off for the Cubs will be center fielder Bob Dernier. As I said, we get our first look at the Chicago Cubs in this 85 series. As the next few games, we will have a couple of repeats, but we have a new team pretty much every game coming up. Thurmond is a lefty, and Bob Dernier batted .288 against lefts. That is an in-play 25, and that will be a single by Dernier. Leadoff hit for the Cubs. And that will bring up second baseman, the Ryne Sandberg. Batted .276 with 5 homers against lefties. Ryne Sandberg, I don't know. Was he the best second baseman never to win a title? Played with the Chicago Cubs his entire career. One of the best second basemen in history. Man could hit, man could field, man could throw. I mean, I don't know. Was he maybe the Willie Mays of second base? I don't know. You can make an argument for that. Dernier on at first. That is a 5 on the dice. He has a steal of 5 rating. Nothing happening. So Thurmond will pitch. And that is an in-play 0-3, and that is going to be a double by Ryne Sandberg. Grounder down the line in right field. All runners will score, so Denier comes around quick. Sandberg heads to second, and just like that, the Cubs lead 1-0. Say something good about Ryne Sandberg, and he automatically gets you an RBI double. 1-0 Cubs. Sandberg on at second. Here is the left fielder, Davey Lopes. He was 40 years old here in 1985. Lopes batted .239. He had 5 homers against lefties in 85. Davey Lopes, Dodger, and many other teams he played with. Still a runner on second. And let's see what Thurmond's got for him. Thurmond's pitch is a ballpark 32. That is a definite wheelhouse for Lopes. And a wheelhouse 61, and Lopes is going to smack a double. That is a clean double into left field. Sandberg, of course, will score. Lopes goes to second. Stadium cheers. Yay! And just like that, the Cubs are out now to a 2-0 lead as Mark Thurmond not getting greeted well by this Cubs team. Still nobody out. Here's the first baseman, Leon Durham. Everybody likes to make fun of this guy. Leon through the legs Durham. They always like to make fun of the poor guy. Durham batted .268 with 4 homers against lefts. Thurmond with the pitch. Lopes on at second. And that is an in-play 88. That's a ground ball to short. That'll be taken care of by Templeton. He throws to first for out number 1. Lopes' run rating is an 8. I will move him to third with that kind of a run rating. So he does get to third base, and there is 1 out. Next up for the Cubs, right fielder Keith Moreland, another underrated player. Keith Moreland, another underrated Cubs player. He could play ball. This man could play ball. Batted .315, 3 homers against lefts. Runner on first base. Padres will call the infield back. It's early. Try to get the run for the out. Thurmond's pitch is a tough 69, and that is going to be a fly ball to right field that will not be deep enough. A tough pitch. All runners will hold. Lopes will stay at third base, and he stays, and that's the second out. And here's another underrated player for the Cubs, catcher Jody Davis. This guy could hit too. Although in 1985 wasn't one of his better years, he batted .235 with 5 homers against left. But Jody Davis, another decent player for the Cubs. There are some good players on this Cubs team in 85. 2 outs, runner on third. Thurmond looking in to try to get out this inning. Pitch on the way. That is a tough 71, and that's a ground out to second. That'll get taken care of by Flannery, and the inning is over. Cubs pick up 2 runs on 3 hits early. At the end of 1, the Cubbies lead the Friars 2-0. Top of the second coming up. Leading off for the Padres will be third baseman Greg Nettles. Sanderson's pitch. That is a defense 95. That should be okay. Range check to third base. The ball is hit to say. His range is a D. 1-72. That is a 95. Nice play by the Penguin. He throws to first to get out Nettles. That is 1 down. Next batter is center fielder Kevin McReynolds. Sanderson's pitch, tough 15, struck him out. Second strikeout by Sanderson. He averaged 6 per 9. That's out number 2. And now the catcher, Terry Kennedy, batted .262 against rights. Pitch to Kennedy. That is an in-play 80. And that's a fly ball center field. Coming up with it will be Bob Dernier. And he puts it away for the out. And another 1-2-3 inning go the Friars. Still 2-0 Cubs. Bottom of inning number 2 coming up. Speaking of Ron Cey, there he is. Third baseman Ron Cey, the Penguin. He was 37 years old in 85. Batted .221, 7 homers against lefties. Let's see if Thurmond has a better inning. In play, 26. That is going to be a pop out to second. Pop fly ball, second base, and Cey goes out. Here is the shortstop, Sean Dunston. Don't know what to make about Dunston. He was 22 years old here in 85. Dunston, young kid. Batted .222 against lefties. Dunston, I always felt, was a fine shortstop. Really couldn't hit that well. Maybe average, but Dunston was a pretty good shortstop. Good fielder. Thurmond's pitch. And a patient 34. And that's going to be, well, I say he couldn't hit, but he gets a hit there. That's a base hit. Thurmond puts it over the plate, and Dunston smacks a single. It's like every time I criticize a ball player, he always seems to get a hit on me. I don't know. The batter will be Scott Sanderson. He does not have his own pitching card, so he'll use hitting card. He doesn't have his own batter card, so he'll use hitting card number 1. Dunston does have a chance to steal, and that is a 4. He has a B. Kennedy's arm is a 3. That's actually kind of interesting. Let's see. Do we want to try a steal here? That is a B3, and that is a very good opportunity. We're going to see if he steals. So we're going to try to steal with him. Dunston's got the speed. His steal rating is a 4. Thurmond's hold rating is a 9. A 0 to 70s, Dunston steals. 73, he does not. Thurmond tries to pick him off. And his hold rating is a 7. He throws to first, and Dunston's back safely. So that takes care of the steal. And now Sanderson is not going to hit and run, so we'll hit normally. But they could see a sacrifice, and we will do the sacrifice. So Sanderson's bunt rating is a B. We'll attempt the sacrifice. That is a 5, and it's bunted. It is bunted to the third baseman, and his bunt rating is a B, and the sacrifice is successful. Dunston gets to second anyway, but there are 2 outs. So that is an SH3 on Sanderson. Dunston in scoring position, and now Bob Dernier, the batter, with 2 outs now. Salvador America joins us here at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Pitch by Thurmond. That is a in-play 91. That's going to be a ground out to short. As Dernier grounds out to short, and that will end the inning. So no runs for the Cubs. They do get a hit. At the end of 2, the Cubbies lead the Friars 2-0. Yeah, I'm actually playing a little early. I'm going to start playing games a little earlier. So maybe around 7, 8 o'clock. I mean, there's nothing going on tonight anyway. Today's what? Monday? I mean, there is pro football, but, you know. Top of the 3rd inning, Sanderson will pitch. And he'll go up against left fielder Carmelo Martinez. How about that game earlier, an inside pitch? How about that game? Sanderson will pitch to Martinez. And that is a tough 68. And that's a ground out to second base. 1 out. One man down. That'll bring up the shortstop, Gary Templeton. Oh, you didn't see it. That's right. You weren't there. Salvador, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. You didn't watch it. That's right. You weren't there. Got to watch it. Inside pitch. My game between the Angels and the Pirates. You've got to watch it. You won't believe it. Templeton, the batter. God, I can't talk. In play, 37. That is going to be a single for Templeton. Templeton gets to first. That's the first base hit by the Padres in this game. That will bring up the pitcher, Mark Thurmond. He also does not have a batting card, so he'll use hitting card number 12. And he can hit. He's got the ability to hit. Do I want to go ahead and sacrifice Templeton over? I know it does sound like my voice is going. It is. I need a break. At least one day off from talking, I guess, huh? Templeton on at first. Do I want to sacrifice him over? Down 2-0. I'll let him hit. He's got a hitting card. He's got a hitting card of a 12. Pitch. That is a tough 21, and that's a strikeout. So that was quick. 2 down. Maybe I should have bunted him, but 2 outs. Here is Tim Flannery. Templeton still on at first. Bears Den 007 joins me at Wrigley Field. I know he should be rooting for the Cubs in this game. Sanderson's pitch. That is a patient 21, and that is a walk. So now the Padres got something going on here. Runners at first and second, and a chance for that guy to get the Padres on the board. 2 outs. Tony Gwynn, very hard to get out. Runners at first and second, top of the third. Cubs leading 2-0. Sanderson with the pitch. That is a tough 78, and that's a ground out to short, and that will end the inning. No runs for the Padres. They do get a hit. Cubs lead 2-0 going to the bottom of the third. Yeah, my voice, been doing too much of this, I guess. Maybe I need a vacation from it. Bottom of the third inning. But why? I'm just having too much fun. Sandberg leads off for the Cubs. There you go, Ryan Sandberg. One of the best second basemen in history. And he led off with a double his last time out for the Cubs. Sanderson was a fly ball pitcher. Yes. Thurmond will pitch to Sandberg. And that is a patient 70. That's a ground out to short. One ground out to second. 1 out. Sanderson goes down, and now here is Davey Lopes. Lopes hit a double his last time up. Thurmond with the pitch. Tough. 91. That's a ground out. Now that is a ground out to short for the second out. And now Leon through the legs Durham. Is that what you guys remember Leon Durham from, is through the legs? I mean, Cubs fans have a major issue with Leon Durham, and he really wasn't that bad a fielder. At least in 1985, he has a fielding rating of B and an error of 5, so he had the best error rating. Tribe Fan 879 joins me at Wrigley Field. As all they think about is Leon through the legs Durham. I don't know. Maybe I think the guy's getting a bum rap. Thurmond will pitch to Durham. And that is going to be a tough 10, and that is a strikeout. And Thurmond has his first 1-2-3 inning of the game. Still 2-0 Cubbies. At the end of 3. We would say Buckner would have had it. Okay. You mean Buckner would have had that play instead of Durham? Wow. Wow. What do you say to that, Salvador? I don't know about that. Top of the 4th inning, here's Garvey. Garvey 0 for 1. Sanderson with the pitch. And that is a tough 44. And we're going to see a pop out to catcher. 1 out. Garvey goes down. And now Greg Nettles. Nettles 0 for 1. Sanderson's pitch. That's a patient 29, and that's going to be a walk. Nettles will trot on down to first. And now K-Mac. Buckner, The ground ball was Buckner's arch enemy. Buckner was very much liked in Chicago and wasn't a bad fielder. That is very true. That is very true, Bears Den. You are right. And I do remember seeing Buckner play many a decent game for the Cubs in the early to mid 80s when I was a teenager. Absolutely. Nettles on at first. K-Mac the batter with one out here. Sanderson will pitch. That is an in-play 15. That's a single. That is a ball blooped into right field. Nettles will hold at second, and McReynolds holds it first. Runner on first advances one base, and we got runners at first and second, and now the Padres got something going on. Next batter will be Terry Kennedy. Padres come into this game 11-10. The Cubs are 10-10 at 500. So this is actually a pretty good ball game. Unfortunately, the postseason makes or breaks you because damaged goods. Yeah. Herman Franks wasn't a Buckner fan. He called Buckner. Runners at first and second. And now Kennedy the batter. Now we'll see if San Diego can do something here. Pitch on the way. That's a tough 55. And we got a ground ball to first base. Kennedy's double play rating's a 9. Sanderson's a 5. That is a 5. They're going to turn it. Ground ball to third. Throws to shortstop covering second. Throws back to first. That is a double play. Side retired. The 3-6-3. No runs, a walk and a hit. As the Padres can't do anything right now to get some runs across, remains 2-0 in favor of the Cubs. Bottom of the fourth. And here is Keith Moreland. And in my opinion, like I said earlier in this telecast, Moreland, another underrated Cubs player. He could play. 31 years old in 85. Moreland was a good player. Cubs had some pretty good players on this team. It's just their pitching really couldn't hold out, but they had some good players. This 85 Cubs team really didn't stink. Pitch to Moreland. That is a patient 0-4, and that's going to be a walk. Moreland will trot down to first. Another good player, catcher Jody Davis. Moreland will not steal. Thurmond now pitches to Davis. Another good player, I thought, for Chicago. Good hitter, too. Didn't have a good year in 85, though, but he was pretty good. He could hit for power. He could hit the ball out. Moreland was a better right fielder than a left fielder. Yeah, he was. But they got him in right field in 1985, and his range is an F, so I don't know. Here's the pitch to Davis. In play, 46. That's a ground ball to first base. Davis's double play rating 7. Thurman's is a 7. That is a 6, and they will turn the double play. 2 outs. 3-6-3. I guess one turn deserves another. Two men down for Ron Say, the Penguin. Thurman's pitch. That is a tough 79. That's going to be a fly out to center, and the inning will end there. He faces the minimum batters. Nothing across except the walk. At the end of 4, Cubs still lead 2-0. As Harry Carey would say, Jody Davis, Cub Catcher of the Year. As I said, there's talent on this Cubs team. There is talent. Sanderson takes the mound. Here is Carmelo Martinez for the Padres to lead off the top of the 5th inning. Pitch by Sanderson. That is an in-play 78. That's a fly out to center. Out number 1. Next up is Gary Templeton. Sanderson's pitch. In play again, 53. That's a single for Templeton. He gets a base hit. That's Templeton's second hit of the game. He did bat .295 against right-handers. That brings up the pitcher, Mark Thurmond. He'll go ahead and sacrifice here. So let's get the sacrifice chart ready to go. So here's the sacrifice attempt, and it's a bunt, and the bunt is hit towards the third baseman, and his bunt rating is a B, and that is an A, and that is a successful sacrifice SH. Templeton goes to second, and Thurmond is out, 2 down. A good bunt to third base. And now it'll be up to Tim Flannery to try to get Templeton in at second with 2 outs. The starting pitching staff all got injured in 85, starting with Sutcliffe. They were first at that time. I guess that started the downward spiral. Yep, that's true. Templeton on at second. Flannery at the plate. Pitch from Sanderson. That is a patient 87, and he hits him. Plunk. Ugh. Flannery goes to first. He hits Flannery. Ouch. Hit by pitch, and that's not who you want to. That's not who you want to hit, because now you got Tony Gwynn coming up with runners at first and second. Although Gwynn is 0 for 2 tonight. Philip Reynolds says, "Go Cubs." 77-84 wasn't too bad. No, not really. Not really. That's why they're rated a C in the quick results. But right now they're at 500. They're at 10-10. Padres are 11-10. I do have extra starting pitcher for the Cubs. Yes, I do. As a member, these lineups are set by Action PC Baseball, as they have the actual 25-man rosters for that day. Templeton on at second, Flannery at first, Gwynn at the plate. A chance for the Padres with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. 25-year-old Tony Gwynn, really just starting to become what he was. Sanderson's pitch, and that is an in play, 44, and that is a single for Gwynn. Templeton with a run rating of 7, he will score from second. Flannery, run rating of 6, will make third. Gwynn goes to first. It's 2-1 as Tony Gwynn comes through with an RBI single. You knew sooner or later he would get a hit. Two to one now. Here is Steve Garvey with 2 outs. Gwynn could be like Judge and Appa, no threat. Yeah, I know, right? Runners at first and third. Sanderson will pitch to Garvey. 2 outs, now 2-1. Sanderson's pitch. And that is a tough 0-1, and he struck him out. Swing and a miss. And pretty much Steve Garvey swung at that ball. His bat was already over his shoulder, and the ball didn't even cross the plate as Sanderson pitched a beautiful changeup, and the side is retired. Padres got 1 run on 2 hits and a hit batter. And because of the hit batter, it moved the runner, it moved Templeton to second base, and Gwynn was able to bring him in. It's now 2-1 Cubs halfway through the ball game. My voice is really going. I got to take a break. Bottom of the 5th. Mortal J. Baller. Mark Thurmond comes out for the Padres in the bottom of the 5th inning. Leading off for the Cubs will be Sean Dunston. Another underrated player I felt for the Cubs. Not a great hitter, but he could field. Good shortstop. Thurmond will pitch to Dunston. He's 1 for 1, by the way. Ballpark 92. That's going to be an in play. In play 15 for Dunston, and that is a single for Dunston. He gets his second hit of the game. Second time I say Dunston, not that great a hitter, and all he does is get a base hit. Here's Scott Sanderson. He's the pitcher, and he'll sacrifice Dunston over, I'm sure. Sacrifice roll. Here's the bunt attempt, and the bunt is hit towards the pitcher. And Sanderson's bunt rating is a B, and that is an SH. He just got him. Dunston moves over to second. Good bunt back to Thurmond. He will throw to first to get the out. 1 down. SH1. And now here is Bob Dernier. Dunston made Grace a better fielder some of his throws. Yeah. Dunston on its second. 1 out. Here's Dernier. Dernier is 1 for 2. That is a patient 16, and that is going to be a walk. Runners at first and second now for Ryan Sandberg. Sometimes he would sax that ball over, steal third. No. Dunston's a 4B steal rating. That would have to be doubles for even me to be on a, to try to steal third. The dice would have to be doubles. It's not doubles. And I'm not going to steal third anyway when I got this guy batting up right now. Here is the Ryan Sandberg. He is 1 for 2. He's got a double in this game. That's right, Rhino. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Thurman's got to make a good pitch here. In play, 43. And he does. That's a pop out to first, 2 outs. Sandberg pops out to first, 2 down. Ooh. Next batter up is Davey Lopes. Lopes is 1 for 2. He's got a double. Runners at first and second for the Cubs. Thurmond looking on. Here's the pitch to Lopes. That is an in play, 63, and ground out to second base. They get out of the inning. Throw goes to first, and the inning is over, so no runs. There was a hit and a walk, and at the end of 5, it remains 2-1 Cubbies. As Thurmond gets out of the jam. This game is in May, correct. Rhino couldn't hit in April. This game is in May. This is May 4th of this replay. Top of the 6th, Sanderson comes back out once again. His fatigue inning is 8. And here is Greg Nettles for San Diego. Nettles 0 for 1. He walked his last time up. Tough, 11, struck him out. Sanderson gets his 5th strikeout. He averaged 6 strikeouts per 9, and that is his 5th. 1 down. And now Kevin McReynolds, K-Mac. McReynolds got a single his last time up. The dice need to catch up to the calendar. Sanderson's pitch to K-Mac. Tough, 60. Ground out to third. Easy play there by Say. He will throw to first to get out number 2. And now Terry Kennedy. Kennedy is 0 for 2. Flew out and grounded out. He victimized him. Scott Sanderson with the pitch. Tough, 25. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Sanderson has 6 strikeouts today. 1-2-3 inning. The Cubs originally won this game 12-8, and so far we got a pretty decent pitchers duel. 2-1, favor of the Cubs. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. This is Thurmond's fatigue inning. He's due to bat 3rd in the 7th. They're going to see if they can get him to go. See if they can finish this inning out. Here is Leon Durham leading off for the pinstripes in blue with the big C on the front. Durham 0 for 2. He is stamping batters on his hat. Pitch from Thurmond. Ballpark 24, that is definitely a wheelhouse for Durham. Wheelhouse 63 is a single. Durham will trot down to first on a base hit, and he hit that one into left field. Base hit for Durham. Runner on first. The batter is now Keith Moreland. Nothing happening with the 5 on the dice. Thurmond pitches. And that is an in-play 0-3, and that is going to be a double for Keith Moreland. That is a liner into left center, cut off by the left fielder. All runners will score. Durham scores all the way from first. Moreland stops at second. 3-1 Cubs. Stadium cheers. Yay! And unfortunately, with that becomes the 3rd run, and that will be all for Thurmond as they're going to take him out. We'll see a new pitcher who's next up. That would be Jody Davis. He's next to bat. Probably see a right-hander from the Padres. And they will bring in Tim Stoddard. Tim Stoddard comes in to pitch. Timeout for 1 moment. Okay. So runner at second base. Here is Jody Davis. Stoddard will come out to pitch now. 1-6 with a 4.65 ERA. Keith Multibags Moreland. Tim, I hope I don't start it on the way to the mound. Jody Davis now bats for the Cubs. Nobody out. Bottom of the 6th inning. Stoddard now coming out there. We'll see if he can maybe stop the bleeding. Still no one out. Stoddard will pitch. That is a patient 63, and that is a single for Jody Davis. It's a base hit. Grounder up the middle to center field. Runner on second does score. Moreland comes around. Davis goes to first. It's now 4-1 Cubs. Cubs doing the job today. They originally did win this game. Here is Ron Say. Davis now on at first. Not really a threat to steal unless on hit and run. Davis on at first. Pitch from Stoddard. That is a defense check 25. That could be a problem. Error check to second base. Flannery's error rating is a 2. 1-56. 25, not a chance. That's an error. And that's going to be a 1 base error as Davis will make it to second and Say to first. That's an E4. First error on the Padres. Still no one out. And here is Sean Dunston. Cubs threatening to pull away. Padres got to do something now, but they're down 4-1 here to the Cubs. Stoddard's pitch. That is a ballpark 42, and that is in Dunston's wheelhouse. Wheelhouse 59. Oh, not good enough. Fly ball to right field. And that's going to get caught by Tony Gwynn. 1 out. Davis's run rating is a 4. That's a 10. I'm not going to have him tag up. As Davis will hold at second base for out number 1. Here's the pitcher, Scott Sanderson. They'll go ahead and let him bat. They'll let him probably sacrifice here with 1 out. We're in the 6th inning. They're not going to pull him. So here'll be a sacrifice attempt. So let's see we go. Sacrifice. And that is bunted to, that's bunted at the plate to the catcher. Sanderson's bunt rating is a B. That is an SH, and he does successful sacrifice. The only play they had was the first. Runners move up, 2 outs. As they play a little small ball. Now with runners at second and third, here is Bob Dernier. And they will pitch to him. 2 outs for the friendly confines here at Wrigley Field. If Dunston is playing, Larry Boa is fuming. No Christmas card for him. Nope, I don't think so. Runners at second and third. Stoddard trying to get out of this inning. Dernier is 1 for 2. That is a patient 24, and that's a walk. Not who you wanted to walk. Because now with the bases loaded, you got that guy coming up. Here's Sandberg. Sandberg is 1 for 3. He's got a double. Yep, Dernier and Sandberg, the daily double. Bottom of the 6th. Stoddard trying to get out of this inning, but Sandberg knows what he can do. Here it comes. That's a patient 95, and he'll get out of the inning. Fly ball to left field. Martinez will make the catch. Side retired. 2 runs on 3 hits, a walk and an error. At the end of 6, the Cubs lead it 4-1. Timeout. Top of the 7th inning. Sanderson will continue to pitch. Here is Carmelo Martinez. He's 0 for 2 for the Friars. Sanderson with the pitch. Tough, 43. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Sanderson will toss it to first, 1 out. Next batter is Templeton. Templeton is 2 for 2. Sanderson has not gotten him out yet. Templeton's pitch. Sanderson's pitch. Tough. 83. He'll finally get him out there. Fly out to center. And that's out number 2. We'll see a pinch hitter for Stoddard as he's coming out. See who the Padres want to bring up. Right-handed pitcher on the mound. With 87 at-bats, it's going to be Al Bumbry. He will go ahead and pinch it with 87 at-bats against rights. Al Bumbry will pinch it against Sanderson with 2 outs. Sanderson with the pitch. That is a tough 25. And Bunbury gets a hit. Base hit for Bunbury. Wow, a 25 just got it. Bunbury gets a base hit. He'll trot to first. And now we'll see if Tim Flannery can do anything with it. Bunbury not running. Bunbury was 38 years old in 85. Of course, we all know him with the Orioles and the Rangers. 2 outs. Sanderson will now pitch to Flannery. And that is a wheelhouse 98. Not even close. Fly ball to right. And Moreland's going to get to that one. And that makes the catch. And the inning is over. No runs and a hit for the Padres. As Sanderson threw him a grapefruit, but Flannery couldn't do anything with it. Side retired. As an opportunity by the Padres goes by the board. 7th inning stretch. I'll be right back in a moment. I'd like to remind you, 10-minute ticker is now held after the game instead of during it. As we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. However, I can tell you tomorrow on Inside Pitch, the 1977 one and gone, we got the Mets and the Yankees. It'll be Pat Zachary versus Don Gullett at Yankee Stadium for the 77 one and gone. Mets and the Yankees tomorrow. Don't think you want to miss that. The 77 one and gone. The Subway one-off series. Mets and Yankees. And tomorrow's payoff pitch game. Let's see what we got tomorrow. We have the San Francisco Giants taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow. Giants and the Pirates. We've had the Pirates already, but it will be our first look at the Giants. So San Francisco takes on Pittsburgh tomorrow on Payoff Pitch 85. Bottom of 7th inning, right? Yeah, okay. So Davey Lopes leads off, and the Padres need a pitcher. So let's get them one. I think they'll bring in a right-hander here. And coming on to pitch for the Padres will be Luis De Leon. He was 0-3 with a 4.19 ERA. He'll pitch to Davey Lopes. Bottom of the 7th inning. Luis De Leon pitching to Lopes. And that one didn't quite make it. Sewer dice, I'll re-roll. Patient 88. That's going to be a ground out to short. One down. Lopes grounds out. And now Leon Durham. De Leon's pitch. Tough. 36. Base hit. Leon Durham. He has a single. He'll go to first. That is the second hit of the game for Durham. And the batter now will be Keith Moreland. Durham on at first. No threat to steal at the moment. De Leon looking on. Pitch coming. Wheelhouse 94, and that's going to be a long fly ball to left field. And that will be caught by Martinez for out number 2. As De Leon makes a mistake, but Moreland couldn't do anything with it. 2 down. And now a chance for Jody Davis. Thurmond on it first. De Leon trying to make it a decent inning for the Padres. Pitch on the way. Tough. 50. And that will be a ground out to third, and the inning is over. No runs for the Cubs. They do get a hit. Still 4-1 favor of the Cubbies. Cubbies trying to get over 500 with this win. And the Padres, if they lose, will drop back to 500. Steeler fan joins us now here at Wrigley Field. We are in the top of the 8th inning. The Cubs lead the Padres 4-1. Sanderson, this will probably be his last inning. Leading off for the Padres is Tony Gwynn. Leon Bull Durham. Or as a lot of Cubs fans like to say, Leon through the legs Durham. Sanderson's pitch. Patient 24. That's going to be a walk. Gwynn will trot down to first. Leadoff runner on for the Padres. Gwynn is not going to steal, and the batter will be Steve Garvey. Cubs bullpen is getting ready. Pitch from Sanderson. Tough. 0-0 rare play. So let's go and see what kind of rare play we're going to have here. Rolling the rare play dice. Black first. 3-1. Long fly ball to roll 2d6. Long fly ball, roll 2d6. I'll re-roll that again. 44. 8. Long fly ball to center field. Roll 1d6 die against outfielder's error rating. So the ball is hit to center. That's Dernier. His error rating is a 2. I'll draw the card on that. That is a 4. If roll is not higher, outfielder recovers and makes a fine running catch. If roll is higher, the ball is dropped for an error. The batter reaches second base easily. If base runner's run rating is 8 or above, he slides into third base safely for a 3-base error on the outfield. Okay, so it is an error on Dernier. That's for sure. So the batter reaches second base. Gwynn goes to third automatically. Garvey there. Garvey's base running rating is a 5. If base runner's rating is 8 or above, he slides into third base safely. I'm going to say he does not. He does not. So he holds at second, and I'm going to hold Gwynn at third because it does not tell me if runners score. So Gwynn is on third, Garvey on at second. That is a huge error on Bob Dernier. So that is an E8. First error on the Cubs. And now runners at second and third. The tying run to the plate in Greg Nettles. So now here's the chance for the Padres. A walk and now an error. Runners at second and third. Now I'm wondering if they keep Sanderson in there. Sanderson is due to bat third in the bottom of the 8th inning. They're going to go with him. They'll keep him in there. So nobody out. Runners at second and third. Cubs are going to call the infield normal. They'll give up the run to get an out. Pitch from Sanderson. Tough. 24. Base hit, Greg Nettles. That is a single. Line drive into left field. Runner on second score. So Gwynn comes in to score. Garvey comes in to score. Nettles on at first. It's now 4-3. 2-run RBI by Nettles. And boy, that error hurts. The tying run now on base. And the batter is Kevin McReynolds. That's going to be it for Sanderson. He will come out because now it's his fatigue inning. So now he does have to come out. And still no one out. Let's see who the Cubs want to bring in to pitch. Oh boy, Cub bullpen is meh, except for a Hall of Famer in there. They wouldn't bring. I don't think they'd bring him in this situation because he would have to bat. Let me see. What are we in the 8th inning? Timeout. Let me think about this for a minute. They're going to bring in Lee Smith now. Lee Smith's going to come in now to try to close this game. Smith is going to come in and Jody. I'm going to pull a double switch here. So Smith is due to bat 3rd. So let's see, who do I want to replace? I really hate to do this, but I know, that's what I'm doing. I'll double switch. The question is, who do I want to replace him with? Ron Say is due to bat 1st. Jody Davis is the catcher. I mean, I could take him out and bring him in Steve Lake, who's a good catcher but can't really hit. That's what I'm going to do. I hate to do this, but yep. So here's what's going to happen. Jody Davis is going to come out of the game. Lee Smith will go into his position, so he will bat 6th. Steve Lake will come over, take his at catcher, and he will bat 9th. And that's what we're going to do. So in comes Lee Smith to try to get 6 outs. And he will bat 6th. Steve Lake now comes in at catcher, and he will bat 9th. I know Lake couldn't hit his weight, but right now, Cubs looking here, a 4-3 lead. You got to bring in Lee Smith. Hall of Famer, 7-4, 3.04 ERA. Got to bring him in now. Because the rest of that bullpen is very, very meh. So here is McReynolds. He's 1 for 3. Nobody out. Tying run on first. Cubs leading 4-3. Big chance here for Smith. All about the D. Smith with the pitch. Patient 06, and he walks him. He walks McReynolds, rolls a patient. And now runners at first and second for Terry Kennedy. Still nobody out. That error by Bob Denier on a rare play is gigantic right now. Runners at first and second. Smith will pitch to Kennedy. That is a tough 22. Struck him out. Kennedy strikes out for the second time. That is a huge K. Next batter is Carmelo Martinez. He batted .256 against rights. See if the Padres want to make any moves here. And they are not going to. The Padre bench is garbage. Pretty much, really. Carmelo Martinez will bat against Smith with 1 out. Smith was one of the last multi-inning closers. Yes, he was. Absolute Hall of Famer. Right after Bruce Sutter, there was Lee Smith. When they put him in the Hall of Fame, I said you better put Lee Smith in the Hall of Fame before you put in Trevor Hoffman and then put in Mariano Rivera. And, of course, before you put in Dennis Eckersley. Smith with the pitch. That is a ballpark 56. Carmelo Martinez gets a wheelhouse. Oh, no. Martinez 20. And it's against the right-handed pitcher. And, yes, you got it. Blam! That ball isn't high. That ball isn't deep. Carmelo Martinez. Say goodnight, Gracie. The Padres just took the lead. Home run. A ballpark 56, which in Wrigley Field is an automatic wheel, pretty much an automatic wheelhouse. And then against the right-handed pitcher, 20, Martinez sends that ball to Mars. And the Padres just took a 6-4 lead. Stadium groans. Ugh. And yes, the Wrigley Field faithful throw that ball back onto the field. And it bounces harmlessly near the center fielder. And they threw the ball right at Bob Dernier, trying to say something. Said, hey, schmuck, should have made the play. Padres take a 6-4 lead on a 3-run Carmelo Martinez jack off of Lee Smith. Ouch. Here's Templeton. Templeton is 2 for 3. What the flying flip is going on around here? Yep, the ball was thrown back right at Bob Dernier for that error. Lee Smith still on the mound. He is not fatigued yet, but I will if he gets another run. 1 out. Pitch to Templeton. Tough. 96. That's a fly out to left. And that's the 2nd out. And now Luis De Leon was due to bat. They'll pull him back. We'll see a pinch hitter against Smith. And he is a righty. And they'll bring in Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown will pinch hit against Smith. Batted 115 against rights, but he has the most at bats against right-handers on the bench, which it's not the 9th inning, so I got to go by stat. 2 outs. Smith will pitch to Brown. And that is a tough 73. And that's a fly out to center, and the inning is over. 5 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks, and an error. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Padres now lead 6-4. Ugh, what an awful inning for the Cubs. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Ron Cey will lead off for the Cubs. We need a pitcher for the Padres, obviously. And we got 3 right-handers, so I think we'll see a righty from the Padres. Geez, that Padre bullpen ain't that much better. Padres are going to do the same thing that the Cubs did. They're going to bring in the Goose. The Goose is loose, Rich Gossage. They're going to ask him to see if they can get 6 outs out of him. Gossage will pitch to Ron Cey. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-4. The Goose is loose. And we just saw him play for play today, right? Against with the Pirates this morning. It smells like a dump, comparatively speaking, garbage. Gossage will pitch to Cey. And that is a tough 48. And that's a ground ball to third. That gets taken care of by Nettles. 1 out. And now Sean Dunston. Gossage pitch. Patient 0-5. He walks him. Dunston trots down to first with a walk. And a 4B steal rating with an 8 on the dice. Dunston will not run. And now that brings up the catcher, Steve Lake, who came in for Jody Davis in the double switch. And I do not have, and he has to hit. There are no more catchers. He has to hit. Steve Lake only batted 170 against rights, but maybe he can come through with a big hit here. Metal should be traded to Siberia. Dunston on it first. Lake at the plate. Gossage trying to get out this inning quickly. Bottom of the 8th, 6-4 Padres. Pitch. Tough. 0-7. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And down goes Lake. 2 down. Top of the batting order, and here is Bob Dernier. And there are going to be some boos from the Wrigley Field crowd for that gigantic error. Dunston on it first, now 2 outs. Gossage will now pitch to Dernier. Can Dernier get some redemption for that error? That is an in-play 65. Nope. Ground ball to third. Easy pickup by Nettles. And he will throw to first to get Dernier out, and the inning is over. Nothing there for the Cubs except a walk. At the end of 8, the Padres lead 6-4. And Dernier is met with more boos. Boo! We go to the top of the 9th. Lee Smith, they're going to keep him out there, but if he allows one more runner, I'll fatigue him. Here's Tim Flannery, or one more run, I should say. Flannery leads off for the Padres here in the top of the 9th. Flannery hasn't done anything. He's 0 for 2, although he did get hit by a pitch. Here's the pitch from Smith. That is a patient 60, and he walked him. And Smith walks Flannery. And that's going to be it. Smith's coming out. They're not going to take any more chances. They got to keep it 6-4. Next batter is Tony Gwynn. Let's see who the Cubs want to bring in now. Probably a lefty coming up here. And they're going to bring in Ray Fontenot, a lefty, to go up against Gwynn and the next 2 batters. Ray Fontenot will come in for the Cubs, 6-10, 4.36 ERA. Flannery on it first, nobody out, top of the 9th. They acquired Mitch Williams. Hook that gas can. Here's the pitch to Gwynn. And that is a wheelhouse 16. And against the lefty, that is going to be a double for Gwynn. He only had 2 home runs against lefties. And that is a 16. And he does get a double. Double for Gwynn. Deep drive off the wall in right field. Runners advance 2 bases. Flannery has to hold at third. And that is Gwynn's second hit of the game. And now the batter is Garvey. Runners at second and third for the Padres. Nobody out. Fontenot trying to maybe do something here. Fontenot looking. Runners at second and third. Infield is going to be in. Cubs cannot allow any more runs. Infield in. Fontenot's pitch. Tough. 41. And that is going to be a pop out to second base. Out number 1. Garvey pops out pops out to second. Big out. And now Greg Nettles. Runners at second and third. Infield still in. Fontenot's pitch to Nettles. Tough. 0-8. Struck him out. Big strikeout. And now 2 down. Can Fontenot get out of this jam? Here's K-Mac. Kevin McReynolds is 1 for 3. Fontenot, runners at second and third. Infield is now normal with 2 outs. Fontenot's pitch. Defense check 90. That should be okay. Range check to first base. The ball is hit to Durham. His range is a B. And he will make the play. Nice play by Durham. Throws to Fontenot, covering the bag, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit for the Padres, as that ball did not go through Leon Durham's legs. But it is still 6-4. As Rich Goss, as the Goose, is going to try to close the door. But he will have to do it with the heart of the order. Will we see some 9th inning drama? Here is Ryne Sandberg leading off for the Cubs. Sandberg is 1 for 4 with a double. Gossage looking on. Trying to get the save. That is an in-play 22. That is going to be a leadoff single for Sandberg. What? Did you expect the 9th inning to go 1, 2, 3? Base hit. Tying run coming to the plate in Davey Lopes. Sandberg. A steal attempt is good if he wants to do it, but with nobody out, I don't think you try. His steal rating is a 6-, and that would be a 5. He does have a steal rating, but I think you're down by 2 runs, and you got to have. No, I don't think you take a chance on stealing right here. Let Lopes hit. Bottom of the 9th, 6-4. Did you expect it? Did you expect a 1, 2, 3 inning? Come on. This is RJL 518 Network here, guys. Nothing is what it seems. Sandberg on it first. Gossage will pitch to Lopes. Here it comes. And that is a tough 0-5. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Big K by Gossage. 1 out. And now a chance for Leon Durham. Durham having a good night. He's 2 for 4. They go talk to Gossage on the mound for a moment. Now they'll let him pitch. 6-4 Friars. Gossage. Here's the pitch. That is a patient 0-4, and that is a walk. And now the tying run is on base. And a chance now for Keith Moreland. And yes, he does have home run power. For those of you who did not watch my Angels-Pirates game of Inside Pitch, make sure you watch that game. For those of you who didn't see it, it's on my channel. What a game that was. And we could have a pretty good finish here right now. Gossage trying to close the door. 1 out, bottom of the 9th, 6-4. Gossage pitches to Moreland. It's a tough 46. And that's a pop out to second base. Pop out to second. 2 outs. And now Fontenot is due to hit. And they will bring in a pinch hitter for Fontenot. And with it now, the 9th inning, I bring in the player with the best stat against a righty. Which on the bench is going to be Thad Bosley. Thad Bosley will bat against Gossage. Now, if you notice, Bosley has absolutely nothing here against left-handed pitching. They're going to take Gossage out and force the Cubs to play some chess. So Gossage coming out. Coming on to pitch for San Diego will be Craig Lefferts. He actually has a couple of saves. Now Bosley will come out. And the batter coming in now for the Cubs will be Chris Spire. So here we go. Chris Spire will now bat against Craig Lefferts. Lefferts just needs 1 out. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Padres 6, Cubs 4. Lefferts will deal with Spire. Spire bats .333 against lefties. Lefferts has to pitch. Former Expo, yep. Fans here at Wrigley on their field. The friendly confines is loud. Here is the pitch from Lefferts. It's a tough 39, and it's going to be a popped it up. He pops it up to second base. Flannery's calling for it. Puts out his glove. Block. And the ball falls into it. That's the ball game. The Padres steal one from the Chicago Cubs, 6-4. No runs and a hit. I'll give you the final line score, and then we go to the 10-minute ticker. San Diego, 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Chicago Cubs, 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Tim Stoddard gets the win. The loss actually goes. Does that go to Sanderson? Yeah, it goes to Sanderson. He was the pitcher of record. Sanderson takes the loss, and Lefferts actually gets the save. Gossage gets credit for the hold. Nice win for the Padres to win here, 6-4, where it looked like the Cubs were going to pull this game. We're going to actually pull away, but the Padres said something different, and there is no go. Timeout while we clean up real second, then we'll do our 10-minute ticker. I am literally losing my voice. Ten-minute ticker time. Everything was going right. What happened exactly? It's time for the ticker. Let's see how the rest of the league fared tonight. We already know the Padres beat the Cubs 6-4. Let's go, guys. Let's see how your favorite teams did. Milwaukee at California. That's a 5. That's a win for the Brewers. Win that game 9-5. Texas at Cleveland. Two lousy teams. That's a 7. That's a win for the Rangers, though. They win that game 1-0. Chicago White Sox at Detroit. That's a 4. The White Sox win that game 7-0. Baltimore at Minnesota. That is an 8. That's a win for the Twins. They win that game 5-1. Kansas City at New York Yankees. That's a 7. That's a win for the Yankees, 4-2. Boston at Oakland. That's going to be a win for the Athletics. They win that game 8-6. Salvador America will not like that. That's a 12. They needed a 2-6-10. Sorry. No loaded dice there. Toronto at Seattle. That is a 9. And that is going to be a win for the Mariners. They win that game 7-3. Montreal at Atlanta. I misread the dice. 2-7. That is a 7, and that's a 5-4 win for the Expos. New York Mets at Cincinnati. Can my Mets get a win? No, 9-6. They lose to the Reds. That's an 8. Houston at Philadelphia. Steeler fans team. That is a 7. That's a win for the Phillies. 7-1. Los Angeles at Pittsburgh. That is a 9. That's a win for the Pirates. They beat the Dodgers 8-0. San Francisco at St. Louis. That is a 6. That's a win for the Cardinals, 3-2. Now going on to May 5th. Milwaukee at California. That is a 3. Brewers win that game, 8-6. Texas at Cleveland. That's a 5. That's a win for the Rangers again, 2-1. Chicago White Sox at Detroit. That's a 9. That's a win for the Tigers, 6-4. Baltimore at Minnesota. 3. That's a win for the Twins, 7-6. Kansas City at New York Yankees. That's an 8. That's a win for the Yankees, 9-4. Boston at Oakland. That's a 6. Red Sox win that one, 7-5. Toronto at Seattle. That's a 4. The Blue Jays win that game 7-6. Montreal at Atlanta. That's an 8. That's a win for the Braves. Win that game 9-5. San Diego at Chicago Cubs. That's an 8. That's a win for the Cubs this time, 6-2. Cubs get some revenge. New York Mets at Cincinnati. Can my Mets get a win here? It's a 9. No, we don't. Mets lose again, 2-0. For a team that's supposed to be graded today, my Mets right now are playing 500 baseball. Houston and Philadelphia. The Astros, however, are kicking ass. 9-1, Houston wins. Los Angeles at Pittsburgh. That's a win for the Pirates again. They win that game 5-2. Finally, San Francisco at St. Louis. That's an 8. It's a win for the Cardinals, 3-1. Tomorrow, we got the San Francisco Giants versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Got a small 10-minute ticker tomorrow for the 6th and 7th. And the next game after that will be the Yankees and the Twins, which completes this block. So that'll be it for tomorrow. The San Francisco Giants and the Pittsburgh Pirates. That should be a blast. Thank you very much, Steeler Fan 1933, Salvador America, Bears Den 007, Philip Reynolds. Thank you all for joining me today. Tribe Fan 879, thank you all for joining me tonight. Two great games we had today on my channel. Please check out the Angels-Pirates game. I think you might be pleased with it. Final score here, the Padres beat the Cubs 6-4. Stay safe, healthy, smart, and strong. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.